numbers. Big mo team counted, that's a big number.
Check the wrist, man, got him hot. Ay, the biggest scam when he stretch 1,000 yards. You just on your feet, flip it up, run it up, run it up, round it up, count it up. The 50s and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex. She like,
we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the book, 16 cars in my front yard. Ay, 30 on my wrist, one point to God. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team count, that's a big number.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You wanna Christ when the breath on the set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on. Come on. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Chicago Bears and our home team. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. First-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Shotgun now for Carr. Caught by Nelson left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Carr now on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Carr going to throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost lost it. Fumble.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
29.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check, no.
Here's Trubisky to throw. This is Gabriel out on the left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to...
Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, 78 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Gets around him. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Mike. 180. I'm scared. Shift.
First carry from Mike Davis, the former Seahawk. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. And he's got this down to the 35. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 35.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack there to Arden Key.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there, and that'll make it 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for them to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
On second down, Jacobs. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. Well, they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
6-0 our score after one. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
What now? 180. Here we go. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch safety creep. 9. Safety creeping.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. It's complete downfield, out left to his running back. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 43.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. I got one.
First down, a run with Cohen. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky, throw left side, complete. That's Burton. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Take over at the 31-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's set
to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
I got you.
From the 38, Trubisky. That's complete right side to Gabriel. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence.
Pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 29-yard line.
From the 29, Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that? And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Credit the sack to Brandon Marshall.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Flush to his right. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on set and change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Nelson. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw his Carr. And that's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. He's going to wind up and air it out. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back in the back 7, phenomenal.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 17-yard.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 35. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you
under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Back to the air, Trubisky after the pick 6. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Trubisky's throw into the hands of Burton, and down inside the 15 he goes. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. Throwing here, Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And now it's 2nd down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. makes it third.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down.
Coming to you, coming to you.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up second and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Here we go, here we go,
First and 10
here we go.
at their own 15-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Trubisky now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. Now Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Well, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Get the ball.
On first down, Richard. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And now it's third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing now is Carr. And he locates Luke Wilson. And he's taken down inside the 30. Now they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Down. You wide, Eddie. Like my board. Squish, squish, Raider 2.
Here's Jacobs on first and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a little bit different size than they're used to seeing in Chicago, playing the middle linebacker position. But undersized or not, his speed is absolutely overwhelming. And when he arrives with a thump. The city of broad shoulders loves Roquan Smith.
They run it with Jacobs. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 21. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Carlson on for the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go.
Makes the score Raiders 26, Bears nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
That one good for 37 yards.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up second and 11 at the 39-yard line.
Come on, 180. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Check.
On second and 11 now. Trubisky to Gabriel, middle of the field. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line.
16 yards. That's another Bears first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Go! 180! 54! Twist! No!
They'll run on first down. It's Cohen. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
No chance!
Here's Trubisky to throw. Connecting with Burton here over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Buying time to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Trubisky. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that will get them 1 closer. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw 1 deep.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A big play that time for the Raiders. 56 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Meanwhile, here, a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Hey, 7:34. Get in the weight room. On your team.
Now on 2nd and 16. Carr forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And the Raiders have got him. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Trubisky will throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, 21 yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Throw left side taken in by Miller. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Pass from Trubisky taken in by Gabriel. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Maurice Hurst able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. To try again after the sack. Trubisky, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Here's Trubisky. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout.